And these are the lights we're going to be using. This is the Cree LED spotlight kit, which was about 18-90 quid from BikeVis. And here's the kit, some very straightforward instructions, a couple of lamps, and some of these Deutsch cables here, which are basically a simple way of connecting and disconnecting your lights if you want to take them off. And one thing I will say about these lights, they're nice and heavy. You can get all sorts of cheap stuff on eBay. These aren't the cheapest, these are around about 89 quid, I think, something like that. But they're very good value because not only are they extremely bright, but this is actually metal, not plastic. It's an alloy, and it's really robust. So I think they look good, they feel good, and I think they're going to last. And we're going to be fitting that to the GS, but first of all we've got to find some mounting points, and what we decided to do is we've got a set of crash bars. These are Givy ones, or Givy ones, and they're about £160, which is around about half what BMW charge for their kit. So we're going to be fitting those first onto the bike, and then we will fit the spotlights onto that. Right, and there is the Givy crash bars on the bike. A little bit fiddly to install, but pretty simple really. So the next thing is we're going to have a look at the lighting kit, and we're going to take it slowly. We're going to work out where we want to put them on the bike, somewhere on the bars, and how we're going to wire them up. Okay, so we're looking at where to place the lights. Now the ideal thing would be a horizontal surface, where it's nice and flat and you can fit a light quite easily. The only ones we've got are right up inside here or down there, where it's going to catch all the crud off the back wheel. We also want them to be very visible and make the bike look wider, so we need to put them somewhere near the widest part of the bar. It's not ideal, but we do have an adjustable bracket on this, so it doesn't matter if it's not vertical to begin with. We can actually adjust the angle of the light so that it doesn't dazzle people, and I'm probably going to just fit them on there because I think that's a place where they're going to be the most visible. Now I don't have a secondary bracket which would help me to fit these, so what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to use a punch to put a small marker here and drill a hole right the way through and bolt right the way through. It's not a particularly elegant solution. I shall treat it with some grease and whatever to prevent corrosion. It's not ideal, but I'm in a bit of a hurry, and I think it's acceptable for me. But you can get what's called a P bracket, which is a P-shaped bracket, goes round here, sticks out forward, and then you can actually plonk these right on top of that. But they're sort of like 20 or 30 quid, and I can't be bothered really, so I'm just going to get on and fit these by drilling the 2 holes. Well, there's the lamps actually fitted onto the top of the bars, just drilled through, put them on, and now we're going to use these Deutsch connectors to actually connect the main wiring. The first step for me on the GS is going to be to take off the battery cover here. Now under this particular cover you've got something slightly different, which is a fuse block here, which I got from Nippy Norman's, and if you look inside there, this is basically a fuse box which connects to your battery, and it has several advantages. One is that it keeps wiring neater. You don't have to have loads and loads of connections going onto the battery, which can cause problems. You just have the one set, and then you run all of your connections off of here, so it keeps them neater. The second is you can fit a little fuse in there, so you keep all your fuses in one place. You don't have lots of, if you're fitting different accessories, you can end up with loads of separate fuse holders, and if something happens, it's a problem tracing them. This is, you know exactly where they are, but the greatest advantage really is it has a built-in relay, and if you put the fuse in one position, you simply get straightforward power on all the time to the accessory. But if you want the power to go off when the ignition goes off, you simply put it in the other position across there, and that activates the relay so that when the ignition goes off, your particular accessory will go off, and you can run 6 from this one fuse box. It's not cheap, about 60 odd quid, but it really helps, and I use them on every single bike. On a BMW it's particularly valuable because it's got CAN bus electrics, which are basically a digital electrical system monitored by a computer, and wiring into existing circuits can be a problem. Now with this, because you're going straight to the battery and everything's running off a fuse box, it doesn't even touch the CAN bus wiring system. The only place it touches is for a live to trigger the relay, and that's absolutely fine. The lights we're fitting are LEDs, so they're not going to draw much current anyway, but nevertheless on a CAN bus bike I would definitely fit one of these, and in fact I always fit them to every single bike because I always fit a lot of electrical accessories, and it does make it a lot easier. So we've connected the leads together and we've heat sealed them in, heat shrunk them in, brought the wires up here. It's just simply a matter of putting together the two red positives on one side and the two negatives on the other side. I'll put a little label on each one, which I'll fill in a minute, which will say exactly what it is. Then you put the relevant fuse. I put a 5 amp in here, you could probably get away with a 3, and I've put it into the position over to the right, which means that it operates through the relay. So I'm not going to put a switch in this time, just simply run it through the ignition. So when the ignition is on, the lights will be on, and when it's off, they'll be off. So let's just see if it works. We'll keep it on there and we'll just put the ignition on. Yep, and there we go. An absolutely brilliant light, and obviously before we get on the road we're going to have to adjust them using the garage door to make sure that they don't dazzle anyone. Overall, an extremely simple, quick job. I think it took something like around about an hour to fit these to the crash bars, run the wires up through and connect them to the fuse box. It is a lot easier if you have a fuse box once you start adding accessories. Don't need it though, but it does get rid of a lot of wiring and keeps your fuses in a sensible sort of place. So that's it really. Those are the Cree spotlights, riding lights by BikeVis, and absolutely excellent product they are too.